Is it?
At least for now.
The Archipelago Shopping Through and Cult Motor Association.
Yeah, also fun fact. Fucking that previous session, the early Sunday. Oh, so good. So good. Free has left.
That worked.
That went very smoothly. Very nice. Very cool. Also,
So he officially retired 2 characters now.
yes. Also, session 68.
Well, we're one session off for being yes.
The way you said it, that just now reminded me of a news report I saw in 2011.
2011.
Yeah.
Talking about ancient history.
They were just like doing the normal weather forecast, and then they just switched over to tell us about the upcoming apocalypse.
Just casually.
Oh yeah, 2012.
Mm.
Oh,
2012
God.
was going to be the apocalypse.
Yeah. Wasn't the movie about the 2012 apocalypse was in like 2008?
Yep, that one was in 2008, but the actual intended apocalypse was on the
21st of December 2012.
21st. Thank you.
I believe it, the reason
during the equinox.
They believed that it was going to be the end of the world because of the Aztec calendar, but the Aztec calendar was inaccurate.
It was off by about 8 years.
And we can see the result, right?
Well, it hasn't been entirely an apocalypse. I'd say it's just been an inconvenience.
Yeah, call it however you want. I wrote an entire exam, well, not even an exam, a pseudoscientific paper about this that was supposed to be 15 pages long. So yeah. I literally have books in my room about this topic, not even joking.
Oh, God.
I had to read like 3 different books to get the necessary information. Only finished one of them.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
There's a reason why I fucking sucked in that subject. Anyway,
session 68.
Ken, making preparation for next week?
Oh, God. I feel like it's gonna be very awkward, or it's gonna be very fucking serious and almost depressing the next session.
There's only 2 options.
Session 69, yes.
Everybody, at the end of the session, everybody just fucking crying.
Just a loud sigh when we declare the session over.
Yeah.
Like the kind of sigh you give when you get the information that the bomb has successfully been defused.
Oh my God.
And before that's exactly what we have to do with involving the cultists.
And a few other things. I mean, we're still in Colna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I need to figure out how these guys are getting here, because all these guys through one archipelago random teleport is not possible.
Well, there's different scales to archipelago teleports. You've seen them before.
I know, but these guys are specifically directed to me, and
implies that they intended to meet you here.
Yeah, it implies that they got here intentionally. Which
is
me
a debate in itself, yeah.
Yeah. Which makes me think that after that dream sequence where the rock talked to me, they've got a permanent portal.
Oh, those are far theories, but I'm there for it.
I'm there for it.
Not because I believe it, but I want to see how it plays out.
Oh God, sure. I would like to believe. So I guess
that's the atheist.
Yeah, I guess for that I gotta ask a simple question. Is everybody ready?
Let's see where the session goes.
Oh God.
You feeling better this time around, Ken?
It's been a rough week again.
Ouch.
Dude, same. Very same. Anyway, so last we left off, the your boat now is at flying capacity, and yeah, that's pretty good.
And I may have also almost killed Sam with alcohol poisoning.
Yes.
You claim that.
You claim. Bolsterously
But
claim.
considering how he looked,
But yeah, essentially, you all regrouped after your days of traversing the city. Ken basically resurrecting Prophet Matthew, Revan realizing that there's probably another side to his whole puzzle, as the Spearmaster declared, and of course, like to return after his little escapade and a bit of internal screaming. And then you all decided to regroup in the morning. For Ken and Lecter, accompanied by Lena and Zvita, you decide to head north to the Noble Market in pursuit of something, while Ravan decided to go eastward towards the Thieves' Market. And as you were kind of just, walking, enjoying the semi-destroyed streets, and then, the better quality of streets, you all start to feel that sensation of being followed. And then, of course, for Ken and Lecter, you start to see just a hooded person in this familiar, very uniquely familiar cloak of this purplish color. Eventually, for you, Svita got annoyed and started killing all those people, and you start to hear screams in the distance. As for Revan got his first taste of a cultist as it tried to run from his right to the.
Don't say it like that.
Yeah.
Don't say it like that. It makes it sound weird.
Yeah.
Save that for Session 69.
Oh god.
It's getting worse.
It's just a prelude. From the right to the left, the cultist ran before getting gunned down. But what seems to be Lecter, but different. Evanar, as he calls himself, is hunting these cultists, same as you. Not because he has any particular thing, but he just doesn't like them. And he was curious about you. Potentially are friends with someone similar like him, and he was basically very eager. Not eager, but like he was pretty chill following you. See, basically taking you as kind of a bait for more cultists to show up, which eventually they did, cornering you in one of the alleyway, but then you quickly dispatched it. And technically, last we left off, for Ken and Lecter, you essentially are mere minutes from the initial noble markets. Basically, can see them in the back, in the foreground, as you approach. And for Revan, let's start with Revan, because I feel like Revan, you got the most curious thing. It takes you an additional like 10 minutes of just traversing towards east after the engagement. And essentially, all of a sudden, you just start to see massive amounts of stalls, kiosks, and people bartering and essentially offering their goods to anybody who's willing to listen and or buy them.
So looks like we've made it to the Thieves' Market.
Evanar does not say anything, he just gives a nod.
Man, a few words. I admire that. Anyway, I'm gonna have a look around, keep an eye out for any more of those idiots.
Mm-hmm. So, besides that, anything else you like to do in the Thieves' Market?
Well, Thieves' Market, I'm assuming there's a lot of, black market items here.
No, you don't even know why it's called that, but from what you see, it just looks a bit more run down than what you saw 2 hours ago.
So this is like... Actually, this is effectively the $2 store of...
Maybe.
Oh, I should not come here.
Your problem now?
Yeah, so what would you like to do, Evan?
Well, I'm going to peruse the stalls. If nothing really catches my eye, then
Roll me an investigation check.
great. I'm always terrible at that. And this is the first roll of today.
Yeah.
So, yep, figured this much. Sets. It's on brand.
Yeah, it's everything is just bad. Like common goods as like foods and like everyday needs, fine, relatively cheap. But when it comes to like more, I guess, luxury goods like silverware, jewelry, everything is absurdly cheap and probably is not even real.
Yeah, like I walked by a cart with rats on a stick.
Actually,
Let's
let's just say the cooked foods and butchered meats do not look very sanitary. As you see, several butchers just have like dead boars that are still like, bleeding out, and you just kind of put them on like a hook, just covered in dirt and sand. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I was expecting when I heard the thieves market. I was thinking black market maybe, but not this.
Evanar just kind of looks at you. Why would you need a black market?
I don't. Well, usually in cities as big as this, there's usually a place like that where you can find stuff that isn't normally available.
He looks kind of straightforward, and he just says a simple phrase. There is.
Oh, there is. Have I just come to the wrong place, or is it further in?
Kind of almost like
Hey,
cracks.
it's my first time being here.
He cracks his head towards, he cracks his head towards you for a bit, just kind of eyeing you for a bit. In your world, do black markets exist in the open?
Good point. Yeah, and I'm not really going to ask, because I don't know where that would get me.
I know of two places. The Two-Eyed Crow and the Two-Eyed Mongrel.
Both entrances?
Two-Eyed Mongrel offers custom-made items and services by its owner and I guess the bartender. Never been there. While the Two-Eyed Crow is a Kenku run thing. They usually offer random relics that they just gather from somewhere. Relatively cheap, but extremely volatile.
That's more my style. Try and find things that I can easily use to prevent, these cultists from getting close to me would be very nice. I also need to figure out where they're coming from, because knowing the nonsense that the Archipelago does, and the sheer amount of them, either a big chunk of land with all of them teleported in, or they've got a permanent way here. I don't know what the result or the actual answer is, but I'll need to find out.
So,
It's encounter we have with them. Try and keep one alive because I need to interrogate him.
So which one? The mongrel
Let's
or
go
the
for-
crow?
Let's go for the crow, because while you say volatile, sometimes that can work out.
He kind of shakes his head, but kind of walks in front of you. Usually doesn't.
In the distance, you see a mushroom cloud.
Yeah, so while that's happening, Ken,
And before I just come across an actual nuke.
Sure, bring it along.
Same familiar places, same familiar opening. Like to get this sensation of Cradle's Rock Market by the ocean, but a lot more cleaner, a lot more finer, I guess more kept. And at this point, there's quite a bit of people, like a few hundred or so. This place is large. So are you looking for anything specific? Also, while Anna is there, you don't know where Sveta went.
I think it's best not to ask where Svita went. At least for now.
She's probably killing as many people as she can.
I'm not questioning that. So, Ken, from what I've noted, you've been here before, and you got your previous access to the city from a trader of reliquous antiquities. Sorry. As for now,
Oh, no, it's just turning the mic on.
so
Hey, it's just up the way.
okay. Well, I think a few other things are in order, but getting an opportunity to meet some of the important people up in the monastery would definitely take priority. If there's anything else during this that needs to, or that will catch your interest, be assured it's on me for today. As a small apology for taking up your time, and yours too, address at Lena.
She kind of just shrugs. I mean, if I need something, I'll give a whistle, but I'll browse a bit.
Effective acquisition.
So, is there anything you would like to see? Because it's relatively expensive, but everything looks top quality.
For later, I would like to make note of 3 kinds of shops.
Okay.
Pharmacists, so like
Yeah.
medicinal experts.
Yeah.
A good-looking local tailor, and a jeweler.
Okay. Two tailors, 2 jewelers, and okay, one jeweler of like I guess natural, like rope based, while other is more like jewel crafting of metal. And then of course you got one that seems to be selling herbs, which are either classes both like for cooking and medicinal, and the other is an alchemist.
Okay, noted. I don't think. No, I would say, even though they are interesting, this takes the back end of the priority list for now. So, using Ken as my tour guide. I'm sorry about that. I would like to at least try to find the guy who sold them the pass into the monastery yesterday.
I mean, it takes relatively like 4 or 5 minutes tracking to the first floor, and yeah, Ken, you immediately recognize the familiar Loxodon, and he kind of gives like a solemn nod as a customer walks out with some with a religious icon. And he kind of nods to you, Ken. Kind of looks at you, Lecter, for a bit. And kind of he squints his eyes for a bit and then nods to you. Good day. What I may
Hello.
assist you with?
Just in general, I would like to peruse your wares for a moment.
So,
I've been getting into closer contact with divinity as of recently, so general knowledge is required.
well, browse at your leisure.
Hmm.
As immediately the antiquary just kind of looks at Ken, looks at your like hilt that is missing a falchion. I assume you were satisfied with the conclusion, seeing that you no longer possess the falchion.
Oh yes, it was quite helpful. Thank you.
He kind of clasps his hands and kind of shakes them in front of them. Kind of a wondrous day indeed. Electra, you see a lot of symbols of different gods. Pharasma, Mistra, Tempest, Lathander,
Okay, yeah.
basically all kinds of gods, and they all are very finely made out of bronze, and it kind of like masterfully crafted, and apparently they're all considered blessed by the Spirit Master. Spirit Master blessed this, that. Everything is essentially Spirit Master, and it essentially offers trinkets, beads, medallions, of course the icons or symbols of each religious thing, and of course blessed water.
Does the name Spirit Master ring any bells?
No. Immediately no.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be fun.
And you see each symbol, like the symbol is a symbol is like it's 25 to 50 gold pieces each. A tiny flask of the water is like 100 gold pieces, and then a bunch of trinkets, rings, but they're like just finely made bronze, and they're all like from 50 gold to 200 gold pieces of worth.
Okay. I would be checking for two of them. Primus and Mistra.
Okay. Yeah.
Most likely in some small symbol, maybe something for the pocket or maybe as a brooch.
Yeah. Yeah, for Mistra, it is a brooch, and for Primus, it's more like almost like a larger disc, and it's for 50 gold. The Mistra brooch is 25, and as you look at the Primuses, he kind of the antiquary kind of nods and says, "Ah, this one is a recent addition to our stock.
Really?
Never seen this. I've been working on the stall for 34 years, 34 and a half, you might say, and only a few weeks ago, he kind of just almost like with the surprise, just kind of shows the hand towards the thing.
Well, a recent revitalization of this deity may have been part of the reason it has been added to your repertoire.
Most likely.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
One thing that fascinates me about this is that all of these items are blessed by the Spirit Master.
The Spirit Master is our leader for millennium. He is the founder of this nation and has been its most devout ruler.
The ruler?
He kind of gives a nod.
Oh. This is an interesting situation. Well, I assume a being like this would be difficult to reach, would it?
I imagine so. He kind of almost like tosses his hands on up above his head in like a dramatic fashion. Apparently nowadays he travels all across the island. I heard rumors that yesterday he went to the very shores to interact with the people by the coast who were devastated by the flooding.
Well, seems like I barely missed him. Because just like my colleagues here had something to discuss with the Spirit Master, I have something to discuss with the ruler of this kingdom. This nation, sorry. Well, I do not wish to bore you with politics. Still. Well, I would not wish to bore you with this. I'm sure I'm going to find a way to, well, get in contact with him. Thank you for your information on this. I will definitely be taking both of these, pointing towards the disc and the brooch.
Okay, so 55 gold pieces then?
55 in total.
75. I'm sorry. 75 because 50.
75, okay.
Yeah.
33 in pocket change, perfect. Yeah. Very well. I'm sure we'll meet again someday.
May your days be well. As he kind of nods. And then kind of slumps over a bit and kind of looks around expectantly, seeing if anybody else will come to his stall. Yeah, anything else?
Well, making my way further north. I want to visit, or at least try to visit, a place I've been to before.
That's a very difficult task. Allow yourself to roll a history check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage, okay.
Yes.
You said history check?
History check with disadvantage for lecture. Because he's trying to do some fuck shit.
Wait, it didn't roll correctly.
Okay.
That's the other two. 21.
21. Yeah, walking a bit north and a good like 10 minutes. And you know, it's like a massive building. It's very well constructed. And every few hundred feet, there's like an exit to the left and to the right and still continues on. It's relatively cool, even though it's the sun is beaming down. Can every once in a while you see Lena just kind of walk to like stalls and just kind of observe the trinkets, just kind of eyeing them, walking past, occasionally returning back to basically as a group together. Lecter, about I guess 5 minutes in, like beyond your initial conversation, just kind of walking, just watching, you find this very nice marble fountain with a massive sculpture of bronze. And there's it's a relatively large fountain. It's like 20 feet wide. And it's like very complex, multiple faucets, everything. And there's just this Loxodon that is essentially slightly bowing both of his hands in front of him. A sensation creeps up, like a sudden ice-cold wind. And you feel like one of your eyes just kind of start to twitch or crack, like some sort of electric malfunction. You look at the part of the fountain and you see as if two specters of shadow. You see what seems to be a smaller Alexodon, kind of listening to a larger Loxodon as he's reading something to the smaller one. Even though you just see very diluted shades, you almost can remember what they're speaking about. The smaller Loxodon is intently listening, not because he's interested, but because he knows if he listens well, he will get a treat. While the older Loxodon speaks about the duties of a baron and how one must keep the people happy. Because with a happy nation is a happy baron and a happy ruler. And with unhappy ones, heads roll. You realize that you are the smaller Loxodon. And as the older Loxodon finishes its speech, the shades disappear.
Nostalgia takes curious forms. I'd like to meet him again.
As for Ken, you kind of look at Lecter for like 2 minutes straight. He is not moving. He's just fixated on a specific spot of the fountain, where you see just like two Loxodons. One is a lot older and has a lot of gray hairs, while the other is quite younger, and they seem to be like playing some sort of dice game.
Oh, you're right, Lecter.
Oh, sorry. Just a bit in thoughts. It's a memory. Maybe. Tell me. You said you went all the way into the monastery yesterday, right?
Well, I visited 2 of them. 7th and the 1st.
Okay. So, the 7th was dealing with these demons. You told me about that. And the first one is what I can assume to be the place where you finished the ritual? Or was it some personal business?
The first one was where we finished it.
Okay. Going to be a pain still. Well. Anyway. Let's try our luck.
Okay,
Again, sorry to drag you along.
Before you do that, can you hear a sharp whistle from Elena? And you see her basically kind of giving you a hand motion with her fingers towards a specific stall, as she seems to be observing a very odd flute almost like a cane, but you see multiple holes. It's like a relative like a foot long, and like it's a curve like a cane, and seems to be like almost like a tiny war horn type of deal. And as you come closer, she seems to be bartering with the Loxodon, and then kind of pats you on the shoulder and says, "What? This lovely individual offer for this loot 65 gold pieces. You got that right?"
Of course. I have that.
Saxophone, isn't it?
No.
Wooden saxophone.
I'm gonna grab that
Mhm.
65 gold and just hand it to the merchant.
Cool. 65. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
You went simultaneously British and redneck there for a second.
Yeah. So
That's one way to say
yeah,
it.
a few seconds pass, gold exchange, and the loot becomes Selena's. And she kind of examines it, and kind of almost uncharacteristically just kind of puts it on her belt, as if like a crowbar. Not even caring for the potential brittleness of the wood. And does not say anything about it. So yeah, Lector Ken, would you try to go towards where exactly?
Well, it depends on where Lecter's trying to go.
So that's a question to Lector.
Monastery.
Monastery. Okay.
Just figuring out what they did yesterday.
Okay.
The first one?
Just in the direction of the monasteries at all. I need to get in first. I have a clear goal now, and my task is to somehow achieve that. Still, so far, the only goal is the monastery. Everything else will be decided.
Okay.
Once
So,
there.
yeah, you walk out basically into the open and through the streets, and as soon as you walk out the, I guess the noble market, I guess the main building, from the corner you just see Isabetta just kind of walking towards you. You can see there's still remnants of blood on her cheek and on her right
Hold it.
fingers, like on right hand fingertips. Like,
Okay.
as she kind of walks up to you nonchalantly and kind of walks with you, saying, 12 trolls have been dispatched.
I didn't hear that.
So yeah, with that,
Like, didn't actually hear that, or choosing
No,
to
I didn't
ignore?
hear that in the sense.
Yeah.
If anyone asks, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. So, Revan and your new partner Evanar, you take a good 10 minutes, and there's a lot of shady hallways and corridors, and actually going through some literally run down and seem to be longly abandoned ruins. To the point that you kind of had the suspicion of like maybe he's leading you to like your death. But eventually you just find a door that is built sideways.
Sideways.
Yes,
Vertical, horizontal.
vertically about. Wait, no, horizontal. About 2 feet in the air. About the door itself is maybe like 3 feet, and you see if you open up the door, the door immediately would like go downwards, not upwards. And Heminar just kind of looks at it. Looks at you, gives a shrug.
This is the right time to ask, what did you get yourself into?
Yeah, it's like,
The fun stuff.
birds.
Birds.
Yeah. Just mirroring. Actually, I don't know. I'll see if I can do it.
So are you gonna step in?
Yeah.
Open up the door. All of a sudden, there's just immense plume of no. There's an immense purple smoke just spitting out and just kind of spilling into the floor.
Hmm.
You can see Avanar just kind of looking at it. Birds.
Free a sponge.
Oh, there it is. Moving now. Yeah, I'm going to just try and get inside. It's going to be, of course, annoying to get through a horizontal door.
You walk in and you see Avanar is not walking in. So he just kind of open up the door, just kind of swings wildly to the ground. Passage easily can be made. There's no need to do any checks. And yeah, on the other side, as you got through, all of a sudden there's just a sensation of darkness. Then these purple lights kind of lighten up your vision, and you kind of see the outside, and you see Avanar just kind of looking at you, not looking at you, but looking just in the general vicinity, as if like he's not seeing where you are. And you basically see like a 40 feet tall ceiling, and this room that is maybe 100 feet long and maybe like 40 feet wide. And you see there's these massive chandeliers, 3 massive chandeliers that seem to be made purely out of silver and are basically ablaze with this purplish, like actual fire.
Right, so I've entered a non-Euclidean space.
And you basically see to like every corner, wherever you go, like to every corner and every side of the room is just filled to the brim with junk, like nondescript junk. And at the end of this place, you see 3 extremely obese Kenkus chilling on very comfortable chairs and seem to be smoking something.
So if I just essentially entered into fantasy interdimensional Walmart.
Into the what?
It's a non-Euclidean space because I'm guessing that what I'm in doesn't conform to the outside.
Maybe. Perhaps.
Would also explain the horizontal door. Anyway. By junk, do you mean actual junk or
you see pots.
just very
Yeah, you see random shit everywhere.
Okay. So this is not what I thought. He said relics in that, so I thought. And by relics he meant literal crap.
Relic is something old. Doesn't mean it needs to be good.
Good point. Well, might as well approach them and ask.
Yeah, all of a sudden, like, you take the 10 steps away, and all of a sudden clang sound from behind as the door just gets shut. Like, all of a sudden, like, a sudden wind just picks up.
Well, I might as well walk towards the ginger since they clearly want me to talk to them. And
Yeah.
also, they're probably smoking the biggest blunts ever.
Yeah. As you approach, one of them just kind of takes a hit. It just kind of looks at you, blows a red smoke out, and for a split second, that smoke is like seems to have like a storm inside of it, but then slowly dissipates. And he kind of lifts his pipe, which was glowing in reddish runes, but then dissipates. It's like, welcome, merchant of wonder. Welcome to the two-eyed crow, the only true-eyed crow. And you see, he tries to like recite something, and then he kind of blankly stares at you, seemingly losing his body to some sort of high. The other one just kind of coughs a bit. His pipe is glowing bright blue. It's like, welcome. What do you want?
Their eyes are just red, right? Just they're so high.
One eye are blue, one eye is red.
Yes, and you can literally call them by colors, because to your right there's red, to the left there's blue, and in the middle there's green. Their pipes are glowing the same color as their eyes.
Anyway.
The red one seems to be most wasted, while the blue seems the most present.
This is the kind of scene I would love to see as Mr. K's art.
The most lucent. So, well, then I talk to him since he's the one who's, lucid.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. I was told that this might be the place to find some relics of unique value.
Uh-huh. You know what they say, a one man's trash is another one's treasure. He kind of raises his hand as if to high five you.
Eye as a kite.
Yeah, no, I'm not high fiving him. Anyway,
you're not gonna high five him?
No. Well,
Roll for initiative.
I wouldn't be high fiving him. I'd be high when like they haven't got 5-fingered hands.
Still wings. Close enough.
Yeah. He kind of leaves the hand up, and it stays there. So yeah.
Anyway,
the green and the blue one seem to be paying some sort of attention, while the red has basically lost it.
Yeah. Hey, it would be really bad if I just cast mirror image, so they'll start losing their minds.
There's 5 of you at the same time.
Fraser.
Let me present to you the ethics committee.
Anyway, by the one man's trash is the other man's treasure. Not, I understand you mean a lot of the assorted items here. Is there anything of particular rarity and value? Since I know you're probably procuring a bunch of these from the random teleportations that the Archipelago does.
Yeah. One might be treasure, to other might be trash. What kind of value are you looking for? The blue just kind of speaks in this low, almost growling tone.
I'm looking for, relics that could help me get unwanted followers off my back. Weapons, artifacts.
Something you value privacy. I see. The green one just kind of takes a long drag and then just kind of exhales slowly. Yeah, we do also like our privacy. We got this little place somewhere in the astral sea.
Oh, so that's where this is. Okay. That would explain the nonsense outside.
Yeah, the nonsense outside. Where are we again? The green guy just kind of looks around. The blue one just kind of shrugs. The red one is just like staring into the ceiling.
The horizontal door over there leads to the Sea of Kalna.
Not entirely sure, but I think we're here. And it just stops there.
And before I open the door and I'm back in my home dimension. Which is horrible. I open it again, I'm now on the zombie planet.
Continue.
Anyway.
Yeah, so... Second? Just need to do something in real life. Okay, so yeah, he's like, yeah.
I can pay you handsomely for items of particular value.
Show us what kind of treasure you would offer for privacy. The blue one just kind of takes a low drag for a split second, just puffs it out.
Okay, so I've got a lot of gold on me. Not technically in the bag, a whole thing. So you just boom as a bag of 1,000 gold, and then another bag, and another bag.
They kind of look at the bags with disinterest. Kind of looks at you.
Unless you're wanting something other than money.
We want treasure, not money. Money's useless.
Okay then, put that all away. How about this?
I
pull out.
Before you say anything, the red one just kind of, in a hushed tone, says something, and for a split second he starts to repeat himself, and he's like, "I think I'm dying. I think I'm dying."
Anyway, so I haven't really got a use for this since it's now pretty much useless to me. So I pull out the bleeding rapier I you gave me at this Decision 0.
Yeah,
the one that, the dripping blood one.
The one with the red eye just kind of looks from the ceiling towards you. Looks at the dagger. Or the rapier. Yeah, I know. Rapier's like, and he kind of like reaches it out, and tries to grab it.
I pull it back. Well, if you want, do you want this unique item? I don't know what enchantment it has on it. It just has something to do with the dripping blood from it.
So you want privacy, we'll get you privacy, the blue one says. And the red one's just like, give. As he kind of tries to reach out. He looks like he's trying to bend forward, but he can't, because he's super fucking bad.
I invoke duplicity so that he is trying to reach for my illusion.
He kind of...
He's probably losing his mind now because there's now 2 of me.
No! He immediately redraws his hand and kind of looks back into the sky. If you value the privacy, I'm willing to offer you... The green one just speaks up, and he kind of extends his hand, and all of a sudden you just hear like a rumbling sound somewhere 10 feet behind you to the right, and all of a sudden you just see what seems to be a spoon made of black metal.
Oh no, is
As
this
he
the same
as
thing?
as he kind of grabs it by himself, is like, I will give you this for your privacy, for that, as he kind of points at your rapier. And that does not point at your illusion, it points at you. For your rapier.
This isn't the spoon that Rod made, is it?
No, that is not the spoon
No,
of the devotee of the Tempest. The blue one responds.
I wasn't talking in character. I was talking to like out of character, but
Oh my fucking god! Stop with that.
anyway. But still, the fourth wall break there is actually funny. Anyway, well, before I hand it off, what does that spoon do exactly?
It provides privacy
How though?
by making you private.
Insight.
Roll an insight.
There we go.
Honestly, that's a sentence in itself.
You don't
17.
you don't fucking know. Like, you're literally talking to three obese Kenkus in a demi-plane who are all high as shit.
I can't exactly identify it right now. I haven't got that spell prepared.
Your problem.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. I can find out later, and even if he'll come back to bite me. Hell, if it turns out to be something incredibly bad, I'll just hand off the cultists and see what happens. Okay. I trade the rapier for this mysterious black metal spoon just because.
The red one extends his hand towards the rapier.
Yeah, I hand it to him handle first, so he doesn't
He grabs
hurt
it.
his hand.
He grabs it by the blade and purposely cuts it with his own blood. And then he kind of looks at it. And he kind of caws. And then kind of his eyes just kind of looks at the hilt. And kind of starts nodding to himself as the green one provides you with the spoon.
Okay, removing that rapier. Oh. Okay, so nothing happens initially after hitting it, right?
No, you feel the same.
Okay. Black metal privacy spoon. Added to inventory. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know whether this was an annoyance or a pleasure doing business with you.
You see the red bird look like his bow hands are bleeding out, and then he looks at the blade and just kind of swallows the blade. Blade first.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough strangeness for today. So I'm out. So yeah, I head towards the door and just try and leave.
Yeah. The door swings open. You walk out and you see Eleanor just kind of chilling, leaning against like a few feet to your right, and he kind of eyes.
Okay, never go there. Never go in there.
There's no response from Evanar. He's kind of just eyeing the door.
I reach and then close it.
He kind of looks at the door, odd, and kind of continues leaning, looking forward, looking around.
Yeah, no. That just leads to somewhere in the Astral Sea.
He seems not to acknowledge your presence at all.
Oh, I see why the... Okay, I set the spoon thing into my bag of holding, and so...
Immediately, his eyes just kind of fixate on your location.
Okay, now I understand what they meant by privacy with that item.
You're back.
That's gonna be... I've been back for a little bit. Yeah, so I traded a item that I've had for a while that I didn't need anymore for... It appears to be an item that makes it impossible for anyone to see me.
Good for you.
Yeah, never go in there. That's somewhere in the Astral Sea.
Why?
And all three of them were fat.
Why do you think I wasn't going with you?
You've been there before, and you've already encountered
He
all
kind of nods.
Yeah. What? By the way, what are they smoking? Literally.
He kind of looks away. Passive insight tells you he knows the answer, but he doesn't want to say it.
Not to like the answer, am I? Well, okay, we've done this. Might as well see if we can hunt down some more of those cultists and then even try and get info out of them.
Okay. So, where are you gonna go, Revan? Quickly.
I have no idea. I think we're going to just essentially go around the city as much as we can, trying to attract as much attention from these cultists as possible.
Okay, roll me
luring them into alleyways so we can then deal with them without being in the eyes of the public.
Okay, tell me the direction then.
Okay, so we're on the eastern side, right?
Yes, eastern side.
Then I'm gonna head west back towards the ship and just going in sort of zigzag pan.
Okay!
Towards it, yeah. Yeah. So do you need me to roll stealth or something?
No, just roll me perception. While Ken and Lecter takes you a good 20 minutes or so, and you can start to see this bluish slight hue that is acknowledgeable when a slightly better wind blows. You can immediately see the familiar Loxodon guards standing there. I saw. Yeah. Lecture, you see all of them immediately all of the Loxodon's attention is specifically and clearly upon you, but they do not say a thing. How would you like to proceed?
With a combination of sturdy focus and seeming idiocy about the situation he's in. Like, I'm doing something I'm completely sure about, and if there's something wrong with it, I'm just not aware of it. I assume there's some kind of gate or check.
No, it's like a massive, it's like a sudden section of continuation of the street just cut off, and by this, you could say almost like a invisible wall that can be seen, and there's tabaxi guards every 20 feet apart of each other, just kind of standing still, basically in front of it. And Ken, you recognize one of the Loxodons. He's in the same position, and he kind of approaches you both, well, you four. But he's looking at Lecter until he looks at you, Ken, and asks, "Greetings."
Hello. Is he specifically approaching Ken, or is
No,
he
no,
approaching me?
he's approaching like your group, looking at you. But as soon as he speaks, he looks at Ken.
Hello.
What is it you seek? I remember you from yesterday still.
This is the first temple, right?
Huh?
This is the
Yeah.
first order. Yes.
No,
It's the access to the monastery.
this is the barrier, my good sir.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Wish access to through the barrier to the monasteries again.
He kind of looks at all of you like the group of all. Lena looks a bit petrified, and she's kind of. You can feel that whatever hair is touching you is like fully up.
Mm-hmm.
She's feeling uncomfortable about this.
I reach out and try and hold her hand.
He kind of overlooks you all and says, "Do you need a guide?"
Ken, you know the way to the first temple, right?
Or two. Yeah. Pretty sure I can figure that one out.
In that case, I don't think a guard would be required.
Lecture? Roll me an insight check. Because you can see whenever you speak, the Loxodon who's in front of you immediately shifts his gaze towards you.
15.
It is unsettling how he's looking at you, and you don't know why.
Anything I can help with, sir?
He does not respond to you.
Well, if that's it. I assume we can continue. Any other declarations, formalities? Well then.
He looks to his like guards, almost like kind of looking over his shoulder, and they kind of look at him back.
Are there any problems?
There's a far burr of the Loxodon, as if like something is in his head is just kind of turning, and then he kind of takes a step back, and kneels.
Oh, this gets incredibly awkward. Who's
Yeah.
he kneeling to?
He is kneeling to basically your group, and after, like, you can see, like, at the beginning he was not sweating at all. Now he seems like his whole entire face just like he just got hit with a bucket of water in a matter of a minute or so, as he almost painfully, like as if like he's trying to not to say these words, or like he's not even understanding why he's saying this. And he just mutters a phrase. "Welcome home, 14th son of the Spirit Master." And all of a sudden, all the Loxodon guards just kind of kneel immediately.
Okay.
Like it's
Honestly, this is a way better result than I could have ever hoped for.
it happened very two in sync. Because the one who dropped, like, he did it on his own volition, and the rest just dropped immediately, like, at the same moment.
Like, this felt orchestrated.
Almost like either that, or something forced him to do it.
Either way, this is kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, Ken, you can feel in your, you can feel that Lena has her nails kind of jabbed into your skin.
Mm-hmm.
She's not finding this comfortable. And Zvita whispers to you, Electra, or gets message in your mind. Look at how they admire you. But they could do better, I guess.
Sure, we'll figure some of it out later today.
Lena softly asks Lena if she's comfortable continuing with us.
She kind of just nods. Just kind of. She doesn't have like instinctual fear. She looks kind of neutral, but her touch kind of essentially basically tells other story. But she nods.
Then stay close to me, and you'll be fine.
Mhm.
Right, Lecter, shall we go on our way then?
Gladly.
All right.
My eyes are still focused on the people kneeling in front of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
And
just
we're
kneel. They
off.
did not say anything.
Yeah, we're off. I just
By the
don't
way-
know what to say.
I
By the
know.
way, later, as you're heading in, you just receive a send-in message from me. I hope you guys haven't been dealing with the cultists that have shown up, because I have. Also, as a bonus lector, I may have found someone who is very similar to you. And that's it. That's all you get.
The mental answer is a sigh. Nothing else. Sorry. 1 second, I'm right back.
Just a sigh. I'm sorry. 1 second back. Anyway,
I think he's not left.
I know.
Okay.
Oh god.
Just had to turn on the lights in my room.
Oh, like just preparing
I
persons.
thought I heard a bottle opening. To be
Yeah.
completely honest.
1
Same.
second.
Remnants of like post-exam drink. You got like a few bottles of whiskey still.
So, gentlemen,
Oh god. Oh god. He's taking. Wait, save for one more session. God damn.
well, I know what I'm doing tonight. Nah, it's fine.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
My microphone is too fine. Otherwise, it would have picked up the sound of a wine glass.
Okay. So. Yeah, you enter in. It's relatively clean, and I would say a few dozen people are in the street. Compared to yesterday, it's a lot more crowded, but it's not as bad. Like not bad, not like crowded. It's like, you know, people are minding their own business, leaving. Everybody who has priestal robes and looked like more like a cleric type of person, including a few Loxodons that you saw yesterday adorning these blackish robes. Their gaze almost fixes on Lecter. But you do not say anything.
It's not creepy at all.
Brace yourselves, you're about to be quite popular.
No, really.
No shit. That's it.
Yeah.
Takes you a few minutes. And you're by the entrance of the monastery of the, you know. I'm sorry, I just having a. But yeah, you're basically by the monastery. You see, it's very opulent. There's no door. There's just a large arch, and you see the massive hallway, the statues, the basically and basically what Ken you saw. So what would you like to do?
This arch is like entirely open, right? Like there's
Yes,
no.
there's no door. There's no like you can easily enter it.
Can we still hear that person from last session talking inside?
No.
Okay, good to know.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, and you basically are just there's surprisingly no one here in the first monastery.
Like no one at all.
Yeah.
What's that?
So-
I realised we weren't there anymore.
The creepy extent that like.
Yeah, and
Specifically
for lecturers,
Fuck.
yeah, for lecture, not for lecture, for Ken perspective. Yesterday, when you were there in the early mornings, it was like you could count at least like 30 people in this whole place just looking in a specific direction. Now it's just empty, and you can hear like your taps on the foot just echo. What would you like to do?
Has it been like this yesterday as well?
Not quite. It's a bit different.
Let's hope this kind of routine changes. Usual. This feels awkward. He just
Yeah.
stays standing in the giant archway into a completely empty room.
Yeah. I mean, there's in the hallway there's like massive statues and basically what's the fucking like essentially depiction of the Loxodon history or the island, and Ken, you already saw it through this, and yeah, it's just completely empty.
Right, stop now. And I walk in.
Yeah. You walk in, empty, quiet, kind of disturbing a bit actually.
The usual.
Yeah. Let's see. So what are you gonna do? Because you don't have any reception, nothing. You walk in, it's bare. There's nothing there.
Points.
I'm waiting for your response because there's
I was thinking that you were looking up something, so I was waiting for it.
no. I said it's empty. There's nothing there. It's absurd
Okay.
quiet.
Well, this is awkward.
It is very creepy and awkward. I know.
Yeah. Standing here.
Before he's even in there, he's out popping heads of all the cultists.
Time for an ambush. Sounds perfect. I start building up a trap now. I would just walk through the room and just try to recognize things.
Roll me a history check with disadvantage. Damn! All of a sudden, like, you look around, and all of a sudden you just start to see countless of shades of one Loxodon, from, like, a small child, maybe a foot and a half tall, to a 7.5 foot tall. And there's, like, about maybe 50 or so of these shades. But before you start to hear any voices recounting details, all those shades all of a sudden just almost like disintegrate to the floor. And like sands, they're all drifting into a specific location. They're going upwards into the, I guess, second floor of this place.
Sounds reasonable enough. No reason not to follow them. Yet.
Yeah. Where you're currently going is the place where you went yesterday. Yeah.
So, he's gonna mention that just very subtly try and just mention it. It's like, oh no, where we're going? Going where I was going last time. Seems more like your deal this time around, though.
Again, I'm sorry about that.
It's alright. Had my phone yesterday.
Well, I'm getting a feeling that this will be important. So, I must apologize for my agency. I say while continuously walking there. So, I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you see the remnants, the most distance of shades, all basically becoming streams of shadow, and eventually just going towards this room under, I guess, the door, and disappearing. What would you like to do?
Going below the door?
Yes. All the shades that manifest essentially disintegrated into puddles, and those puddles, like a stream, all went to this second floor room, as you know, like a stream. And eventually,
hey, I have 4 different options. Knock, open the door, or just take it in.
kick it.
I would go with
many options.
The first option or the second option.
Okay,
Knock or knock.
I need to tell you something.
Which one of the two?
I need to ask Ken this, because this is very important. What are you gonna do?
Well, first I'm gonna look over to Lena and see how she's faring. I assume she has not stopped clinging to my
no,
hand?
she has let go, but you have like a good 2 holes in your hand now. Like not like deep ones, but there's it's gonna take a few.
I
Didn't
did.
choose demon or devil or something?
Yeah,
Venom?
Zvita. Yeah, Zvita.
It's Vita.
Oh, and
Yeah.
you're going to the and Yeah, and you're going to a holy place.
Hey. Okay.
That's a problem for Svita, not for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, Zvita is more than eager to be by your side, Lecter. She's not to seem phased by this at
It's-
all.
It's like this, like, if you want to meet him alone, you can go for it. I honestly have had my fill. I could just stand out here at the door.
That is your choice. I'm pretty sure you
He's
know
gonna
enough
stand by
already.
the door.
Okay. Lena is gonna also stand by the door, as if she wants to, following your lead. Electra's widow seems to not be like, she has her hands crossed and just kind of eagerly looks at you with this slight smile.
Follow me if you want. Don't do so if you don't want to. I think this will be an interesting conversation.
She kind of gives a slight nod. But of course, Baron. So! So,
Anyway,
yeah, so what are you gonna do, Lecter, my boy?
after another moment of hesitation, I'm going to knock, wait a few seconds, and then just enter. So, announcing myself and then going in.
Okay. Knocks, nothing happens. You open up the door and there's a blinding flash of light. Let's see. The blinding flash of light immediately kind of washes over you, and then your eyes kind of correct yourself. And you see like almost like a sand pit. It's about like 20-30 feet wide and kind of like 80 feet long at the end of it. You see an old Loxodon kind of hunched to his side, sitting on the very edge of the sand pit, and just kind of looking at you, rubbing his chin. Yeah, as you walk in, Svita follows. And the door, slowly but surely, if nobody holds it, closes behind you.
Right before that happens, message. Lecter's gonna find a message. It's like, ask him if there's any way to help Lena, if you get the chance.
Message is not received.
Message blocked. You just get the Windows error sound. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Ken.
Pass failed successfully.
Yeah. So interesting enough, outside, it's bright. You know, it's sunny. But through the windows in here, there's no glass. There's just, you know, holes to the outside. It is. This whole chamber is drowned in immense light, almost to the point of like unnaturally bright. And it's quiet. No sound of the outside can be heard within this chamber. What are you gonna do, Lecter? What are you gonna do?
Assuming that the door falls shut behind me, just standing there. As far as it's possible, I'll try to, well, make eye contact, just like roughly. Clearly making sure that it's visible that I'm facing him.
Yeah. He looks at you. He has, but he kind of stops scratching his chin, just kind of looks at you. Both his hands on his lap as he chills. There's no, he says nothing, but he just observes you.
It has been a while, hasn't it?
He gives a very slight nod.
Just what has happened here? Way too many questions, but that's not the point. Second life, and well, we get to meet again. I must ask.
Are you
Are
approaching
you
him
happy
or
seeing us? Yeah, slowly.
through the sand or like around? Because there's like a pit,
Through.
but there's okay. Yes, there also
Are there?
walks.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Are there any patterns in the sand?
No, it seems like it's been like
Okay.
just plain old sand.
Mhm.
As you walk it, the sand feels warm, uncomfortably warm. As if almost to the point of like walking hot coals. But there is no sensation of massive pain. So what's the question, Lecter? Because he had a question.
Are you happy that I'm here again? Just seeing part of your family again.
He kind of eyes you and looks you in the eyes. Yes and no. I'm happy that you're here, but I'm saddened of what have you become. Same with the rest of your brothers. The fates have not been kind to you.
Fates have done their deal and we've adapted. We've changed. Some of us for the better, some of us for the worse. One of my brothers found his passion in rebirth. Another died because of unfortunate circumstances. I'm still wondering what exactly has happened here. And as is my drive by curiosity, even if I've been aiming at this on an emotional side, my curiosity just can't be satiated. I'm so close to someone who may be able to answer my questions. I would kindly ask for you to try to at least answer a few. I'm sorry about this.
He kind of nods, but then immediately looks at Zvida, and all of a sudden you just almost hear a sudden vibration from her as she kind of takes a few steps back, and you see her eyes twitching. She is gritting her teeth in pain. And then she immediately takes, just goes on her knees and just stays there, head down. Then looks at you. Start from the beginning. What do you wish to know, Orion? My beloved son.
Orion is the name that I've been given by you. And I've been renamed by being reborn into this new body. would only be fair to start there. Just why? Is it just because of disease? Was there more intent behind a new form?
I did not make you what you are before me, but I sense it is my fault overall. He kind of takes a deep sigh and he kind of extends his hand, and you basically see from his hand the sand shifts, and you see the archipelago, the entirety just kind of shifts. And you immediately spot something because you have keen mind. This is not the current map that you've seen. This is the map from the vision of the
Six Arms.
yes. 5.5 centuries ago, on the birth of my 5th son, an incursion was made by the Platinum Seas, seeking answers that apparently are locked away within the archipelago. Something to do with their massive scar of theirs. We did not allow them to go, but we would not acted so cruelly on that day. And he kind of bites his lip and looks down. If not for the loss of my first wife, despair and anger gripped my heart. And the Master of Blood, you met him before. He trained you. He put the blame on them while they're trying to look for their own solutions to their own problems. And I agree to the assault. Everybody was murdered, cast into some sort of plane. A plane in between all planes. Not the sea of astral. Something worse. Something opposite of it. But I feel someone survived. Its haste, its worries, its dreams of potentially solving and potentially reverting the problems gripped her mind and infested with, as he kind of extends his hand, the parasite. As he kind of, you can see, you've seen this a few times from Victor, from Kron,
Omnius.
Omnius. I'm sorry.
6 Arms.
Yeah. You see,
Was it Avatar? Anyway, sorry.
yeah, you see his chubby, very loose skin hand just kind of almost like regenerate to like almost the peak potential in shadow, and you see his like stubby arms, not arms, fingers, just become razor sharp claws. I do believe because of her twisted mind, she now seeks revenge upon this world, upon us, and her own kind, because of her blasted journey that led her to her own demise. I believe she orchestrated the plague that inflicted no one but you, as some sort of cruel twist of fate upon me. And without my permission, you were carried away somewhere a year or so ago. But one by one, ship by ship, all of you have returned. And you were the latest. 2 more, Hecht and Nust, are somewhere in the white world. Maybe in their blasted flying fortresses or cities. Maybe somewhere else deep underground. But they're still somewhere out there. And you can see, the hand immediately, like, finally just kind of, the shadow fades and back to its usual self as it retracts it back.
So the others have searched and found you as well.
No. Some were close. Some reside within this very city. But all of them are content in their own way of living. Maybe they already have the answers. Maybe they remember, just wish to forget. I do not feel anger, because I know that they have the right to do as they see fit.
I say this as a tragedy of the family. And though, like many others of our family, I am, at least, partially content with this. My body before may have given me skills of the Enlightenment, but the arts of the arcane have their own peculiar interests. Still, I feel that we've been robbed of what we've originally been meant to be. And even if this is what we want to be at some point, we're limited through the thing that has corrupted and possessed us. These manifestations, this curse, this parasite, has been plaguing me, and at least, I assume, it has to some degree plagued the others as well.
Kind of nods. You, all 16 of you, you forgot, and you might remember parts of it, bits of it. But I remember you all, from the first one's birth to the last. How you grew and prosper, your hopes and aspirations, and then seeing one by one wilt and die beneath, and knowing that I, leader of our people, couldn't do anything to stop it, just watch you wilt away. You can see tears begin to roll down the Loxodon as he kind of looks down to the side. I hope you truly find happiness in the life that you're currently living.
There's truly no way out.
This was not to be forever, this life for me. I fulfilled my purpose a long time ago, and I wanted to secure a future for my children. That is what I sought after. The populace are happy. You are happy. So in that case, so shall I. But one final thing must be done. For the divine right that I claim, that all of our people claimed, one final act must be done. And I'm dreading it. It is the inevitability that will have to come. And it shall be done. The archipelago, the islands, they will have to stop. The eternal circle will grind to a halt.
I have been told about futures where something along these lines has happened. Whether it be control or negligence, maybe even a curse, maybe the parasite. In some futures, at least all of the ones that I've seen, the archipelago has stopped.
He kind of looks around, almost lost for a split second. It's waiting. She's waiting. Once it stops to a halt, she will try to consume the world. As if at the beat of a heart, when it goes still for a moment, when the muscles are least tense, she will drive her dagger through the heart, trying to cut it out. It's
Can't be the only way. Seen a few. Have you seen what this world looks like? The archipelago may stop at some point, but till then, we just how can you prove what is going to be the end of this? In a world where you cannot even tell what the next day of sailing is going to look like, simply because you don't know whether you're going to have calm weather or a city from a civilization far away or long gone. Is it even sensible to talk about the future?
I control the future of the archipelago. I have
The world
the
is bigger
wheel.
than the archipelago. There has to be some way.
By my right, by my divine right, I am bound to this place and I cannot leave. But you're not attached to such notions, as it would be seen. Maybe someone sees you as a hybrid of sorts. You possess some of the past, but all the restrictions are not fully binding you to this place. If you think there is hope somewhere in the world, a solution, seek it out then. Nobody's stopping you. But
I slightly tilt my head down, like looking at the sand. That is the exact reason why I came here.
if you wish guidance in the archipelago, I can give you that. But beyond its limits, beyond its reach, I am powerless. But you traversed beyond. You've seen what the world is like. If you know a way, pursue it. Only I wish, say as a request of an old, bitter fool. He kind of looks at the side. Gather my sons. I wish to see them again. May it be for the end of the archipelago of the world. If it is that I gonna witness the end of all things, I wish to witness it with my descendants.
I'll pass this on. Try to get as many as possible. Do you know how long I have? Been told that, well, at least one other one is right here in the city. Don't know of the location of at least 3 others.
He kind of sighs deeply. 2 are, and you start to see the sands shake in front of you, and you see the whole island archipelago. 1, my eldest, is at the center of it. 2 of them are in the city besides you. 1 torn to pieces, but its soul still present in the bastard. And then you see a handful more of X's on the map of the archipelago. In total, there are 11, including yourself. 2 more have never shown themselves. 1 has, but for a brief moment. And the second eldest, he's somewhere in the archipelago, but he hides from my eyes.
Council of the Platinum Seas. Ash. Yes, risen to incredible positions in the realms of sorcery. And he's the reason why we can still have this conversation today. At least to an extent, he gave me options. A second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth chance. beyond whatever I did that
Okay.
did not appease the Platinum
Okay.
Seas.
So, all of a sudden, the Dawson looks a bit tired, squints his eyes, and coughs a bit. A fresh sprout of blood comes from his lips. He looks at it to the sand, picks it up with a finger, scratches it, then looks at you with a sigh. And then extends a hand towards you, still sitting. Come closer.
I will, but I'm specifically, if the map of the archipelago is still there, specifically walk in a way that I'm not treading on any islands
Yeah.
or any of the X's.
He extends his right hand towards you. The hand is welcoming. It's not a clenched fist, it's an open palm.
I will take my right hand, also open. And, well, take his.
Okay.
Actually, the opposite. I will just put my hand softly onto his and just accept whatever he's doing.
He snatches your hand, and for a split second, all you can see is white. The first glimpse is of the darkest abyss, then a swirling red portal. You see the familiar, you could say, metal titan with a giant warglaive sitting by it, surrounded by fish people. Then you see what seems to be a frozen over garden as passages have been made, as you see a familiar treant, if you will, a walking tree planting in newly excavated soil, plant and starts to begin to grow them. Then you see what seems to be like a charred version of you with green emerald eyes, and to him Revan is walking as they seem to be just casually wandering the streets of Kalna. Then you see what seems to be a crowd of people, mostly children, about 20, gathered by what seems to be a very finely dressed, almost identical to you, minstrel Hezis, playing a flute. Then you see the familiar blood arena. You see the fightings going on. You see Cole just looking into the pit, and you see the Bloodmaster is chuckling to himself. Then you see somewhere in the sea, sailing what seems to be to the north, is a very heavily scarred, ashen pale, with brown eyes. Basically, your brother manning a crew, what seemed to be undead, in this grayish wooden ship. Then you see the familiar sight of a table with a bunch of chairs frozen over in green shade. in the headpiece of your brother, frozen and encased in ice. Then you see overgrown reddish wood, almost similar as you, no ropes, encased in thorns and basically buried halfway into a random island, and it's filled with fairies and pixies who seem to be using it as like some sort of like a stool or something. Then you see the radioactive darkened plains of Norn. And you see an unrecognizable construct of savannas who seems to be wandering the ashen plains, accompanied by 6 similarly looking robots. Then you see yourself. And then the hand lets go of you. You feel reinvigorated. The light of the chamber no longer feels irritated, as you feel like almost the light is soaking into you. Your thorns, your wooden exterior starts to curl up. Your chassis slowly vibrates. You feel a rush of power in your head. You feel filled with determination and a purpose, unmatched to anything you felt before. And as you let go the hand, you cannot control the hand, and all of a sudden it hits something mid-air. And as you hit it mid-air, you see a massive cane of bronze manifest in your hand. At the end, from one side, is what to seem to be a massive banner of sorts. In light brown and royal orange, symbolizing a sun, may it be dawn or dusk. And on the other side, you see this very pristine pike to basically sink it into the ground. But at the very tip of it, you see a very pristine ruby, almost the size of your eye. As you grip the thing, all of a sudden you feel it. You feel its weight. As the Spirit Master basically retracts his hand towards himself and puts it back on his lap.
Just standing silent, analyzing this object I just received. I then... Yeah, okay. I will then, feels weird doing in front of my father, bow down, like, respectable bow. still holding onto it with both hands, like sideways, not anywhere near the ground.
He kind of gives a almost humble nod towards you.
The next time we meet, I shall make sure that we are not talking alone.
He kind of
Just
looks
as
up.
you wish to see your descendants, so do I wish to be amongst family again. And I will make sure that we can both enjoy the company of our relatives of blood.
He kind of looks to the side a bit. Then immediately, almost unnatural speed jumps up and embraces you in a hug. You feel the old man's strength slowly fading as he's buckling down and begins to sob. After a few seconds, he mutters something to you. Safe travels, son. Safe travels.
Thank you, Father.
He kind of lets go of you and then kind of takes a step back.
Still holding this, well,
Seems to be like a banner. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just still looking up and down.
You see that your wood frame is now of gold. As in golden bronze.
That's what you call an upgrade.
It's Australian.
That is actually very nice, because that means I don't have to update my profile picture.
I mean, you shall need to. But
The bronze. This. Well, this. Quite literally don't know what to say.
Proceed with haste then. The quicker, the better.
I will. And with one final bow, I will not like aggressively shoulder, but just like lean the banner against my shoulder while holding it with both hands.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, just walk out of the room.
Okay, so you see that as soon as you walk by Zvita, all of a sudden she can immediately stands up and almost like immediately follows you with like a quickened pace. You see that her eyes are bloodshot and she is gritting her teeth in pain. Yeah, as you exit out, the door closes behind you. And all of a sudden, like for a first time in forever, Zabuta takes a deep breath and almost collapses face forward onto the ground as soon as you exit. Yeah, Ken, you and Lena just chilled. a good like 10 minutes pass. And also the doors open and you hear like a half breathing from Sveta and she just collapses on the floor.
I've raised a holy aura that's killing you.
It shall be her problem.
Jesus.
There, sec. How'd it go?
Just looking at and now.
Okay. Yeah. So Ken.
Now gilded.
Yeah, you see Lecter has this goldish bronze sheen over his most of wooden parts. Same as his metallic parts. Additionally, his eyes are now golden.
It seems like you got an upgrade.
Well, certainly feels different, and at least my path is clear now. Am I still holding that giant fucking banner?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I mean, you have your control of your hand. It's hefty, but you feel immense power from it. Like, we're talking absurd amounts of potential. You don't even know what it does, but you just have this.
That's the greatest part.
Yeah. So, what is everybody doing?
I have to. There's just one last thing I would like to do for now. After that, honestly, we can do whatever you want, Ken. Just one last thing to finish up.
Just one last thing.
Yes.
And what is that?
This banner declares who I am. With the other hand, I slightly pull at my robes. I think this has been my attire for long enough now.
You just see Sveta cough up and just kind of slowly stand up. And she starts taking heavy breathings, just looking out. And then looking at you, Lecter. Composure completely lost.
Which I honestly can entirely understand.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm probably up to my knees and bodies at the moment.
We shall see in a bit.
Yes.
So, anything wrong? Saying that to Sveta.
She kind of takes a deep breath. She kind of squints her eyes almost in defeat. I should have guessed. She just shakes her head. Your father is a lot more powerful than he tries to convey. She kind of
really?
she kind of coughs up, and there's just a glob of blood. She kind of nods to herself. That took me off guard. Oh. But she kind of looks at you up and down, like for the first time, and nods with approval. So what now, Baron?
Time to bury an old identity. And even if this is incredibly anticlimactic, my literal next move is to and I need to preface this with a question.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of attire was my father wearing?
Your
Monk?
your father was wearing a very basic white robe. Like a very basic but probably high quality silk robe. There was no ornaments, no nothing.
Whatever it was, I will try to figure out if one of the, well, high-class tailors that we've met around
Uh-huh.
will be able to produce something that will look similar.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as for
Finally ditching the Platinum Seas attire.
not even gonna like put it somewhere in the wardrobe. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So back to the tailor, I assume, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
I
Revan,
just gotta figure out what the fuck to do with this giant
Yes.
fucking banner.
the banner is about like 5 feet long, and the whole banner part is like 2 feet. So it's relatively. It's you would say it weighs like 40-ish pounds, so not too heavy.
Still, yeah. Still, that kind of stuff is just in the way, especially for a magician.
So, continue.
Like, okay, so, yeah, so to the tailor, Revan, my boy, I would like you to roll me a d20.
Okay. Seven.
As you were basically make your way towards the west, yeah, I'm sorry, you just start stumbling upon random people with the fucking cloak. And like we're talking like very just random people with them, but like not like just a group sort of that, but it's like every once in a while you just see a guy who's like tending to the stalls and he just like has the same thing on. How would you perceive that? I'm very curious. Of like you just see a random guy who's like making up shop, like, you know, about to sell.
Well, like clearly a merchant, like he bought that cloak off someone.
Oh, okay.
Like that, like, is that roughly the idea?
Yeah, essentially, like you see everyday people who are doing their own stuff that have just that cloak all of a sudden. It's like you see a handful of clay workers who are like, you know, making a new building or like reconstructing a wall that was torn down. You just see one of them just wears it. And
I wonder if some of these guys actually just found them on the corpses we left behind.
I mean, Evanor, as soon as he sees one of them, he just like has his hand on the gun.
Is it possible that these people have just taken the cloak from the ones we've killed?
Perhaps, or
well, the way they're acting and the fact they're not immediately aggressive towards us makes me assume that.
Or maybe maybe someone's giving them away.
Yeah.
He immediately goes to like the merchant and draws the pistol on him. And all of a sudden, the best part about this, the merchant just looks a bit confused and looks at.
I'm just face palming when he does that.
And Nora says, "Where have you acquired these robes?" And then the merchant is like, this is a little fine piece that I found somewhere, and then Evanor just pulls the gun to his fucking head. It's like, where? And the merchant looks very confused. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing?
What my friend is failing to explain is, we're wondering where you got those robes from, because those robes are actually tied to a doomsday cult.
Roll my persuasion check.
Sure. Then I put high persuasion. 12.
No. You must be mistaken. High doomsday cult. What do you mean? It's just a very faulty. It's a very
no. The symbol is of a cult called the Congregation of the One, who have a habit of dealing with demons.
Roll me another persuasion check.
Okay.
Okay, to put in perspective, I just like Evanor has pulled his gun
25.
on him. Yeah, Evanor has pulled his gun out, but the merchant doesn't even know what the fuck it is, so he's just like confused at it. But he's still casually talking to you.
I also whispered to Evanor, by the way, I don't think they know what a gun is.
If he just looks at you, Rem, and says, if he's not gonna say what we want, he will soon find out.
I rolled a 25 on this persuasion.
And he kind of looks at it, squints at the clothing, just kind of takes it off, and kind of checks it away. Yeah, no. I am a well-established and esteemed merchant. I do not dabble in occult.
That. Yeah. Just wondering. We're just wondering where you got it. If there's someone selling this, then
No.
That's an issue.
Yeah, they said that this is some sort of shipment that basically got lost, and everybody was selling it for very cheap, for a few gold pieces, and it's a very fine fabric. So I mean, it's a very good deal. And it kind of gives like a direction. There's a handful of what are they called? Tabaxi, yeah, the furry creatures. They seem to be selling a handful of these crates of stuff that they said they gotten, and he does the quotation marks.
Well, thank you for the information. I just put my hand on Evanor's gun and essentially force it down, since this guy is not a threat. There's no need to threaten him anymore.
No. He pulls the gun down when he just chucks the cloak away.
Yeah.
He's trigger happy, but he's not that trigger happy.
Yeah. So, also, if you ever see anyone, like, there's a few guys over there, like, wearing these clothes, just warn them what we've just warned you about.
He kind of nods. Yes.
Yeah. It might not be good business to be inadvertently involved with a cult. Yeah. Anyway, come on, let's go find out what the deal is with these tabaxi. Yeah, I really don't, as we walk around, I really don't think a lot of these people know what guns are. So, he was so nonchalant about it, I'm feeling soon he's like, what the heck is this?
Well, that sounds like their problem, but soon they will know.
Yeah, the one good thing is the actual cultists that have been after us, they know what guns are since they exist in my world, so...
Good.
But the basics,
yeah.
The ones that you and my other buddy have are more advanced than flintlock.
Roll me an investigation check.
Sure, I already know what my investigation is because investigation is always a +1. 19.
Okay.
Good, my
Yeah.
my luck is turning.
A handful of like minutes later, you start to see more of these cloaks, and at this point, you see Everon is not drawing his gun because he knows that something's up. You see actually like children with these things, so yeah, like they all point like you just very casually point you at the direction, and they're basically saying that they're like selling out because they're very good. Yeah, and yeah, like a good 5-6 minutes after the first contact, you essentially make to almost like a crowd of people that is very quickly dispersing as you see these two tabaxis. And Revan, they look similar color and I guess fur pattern as one of Lena, as they kind of seem to be just kind of, you know, both male, they kind of just have a handful of crates that have been opened up, and they essentially, one is giving like the cloaks and the other is just taking the money.
Hello. What? Like,
hello.
Yeah.
We got these very fine cloaks, 3 gold pieces. We
cheap.
Yeah, we have like 6 crates down to 2, so.
Where did you acquire these crates, may I ask?
He kind of looks at you a bit, eyes you for a bit. Who's asking? You see Evanor almost like he kind of just looks at you and gives you the look of like just looks at you and then looks at them.
So, someone who knows that you're selling tortoise robes to the public without them knowing.
No. Are you part of like some sort of merchant?
No, I am from the world those robes came from, as they were, as I know, they've been brought here by the teleportation archipelago nonsense.
So you're
those robes belong to a doomsday cult that follows demons, and you're selling them to the public for 3 gold.
So they're not yours, right?
They're not mine, but I know where they're from. And it's incredibly dangerous for you to be giving those out.
They both kind of look at each other. They kind of look genuinely confused about your statement. So I mean, it was just free. We got it. Just there were just a bunch of crates. The guy told us to take him. He didn't need it anymore, so we were like.
Describe this person who gave you the crates, because I am certain they were a member of this cult.
Might be. He had a row of his own, but he had a smaller one because he was gnome. See, and he described you of this like an old gnome that is bald and has this reddish plume of facial hair that is like half a foot long. And
do I recognize that description?
Roll me a history check.
Okay.
It's gonna be very. Oh my god! No.
Okay, the dice giveth and taketh away.
Yeah, but yeah, you see, with passive insight, the Tabaxi are just kind of clueless. They don't look like the roguish demonic worship dice. They just like, hey, good shit to sell for free. It's like opportunists.
Yeah, the opportunists who are unwittingly spreading cult merchandise. Yeah. Well, fortunately, I do not recognize that particular description of an individual. It could be a high-ranking member. They could not. They might not be.
They kind of just look at each other. So yeah,
I understand. I know that you're not members of the cult. Otherwise, you would be sweating bullets upon me confronting you, and you would probably know who I am. But since you don't, I would highly suggest that you don't sell these anymore and burn them as. Well, yes, they're finally made. It is extremely dangerous to be selling cult wear to a general public. What would happen if the people in the religious sect find out about this?
Roll me a persuasion check, invoking the wrath of God upon them.
Exactly. I'm pointing out, like, selling cult stuff in a highly religious city.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a D20.
They all of a sudden like almost realize that they might do a lot. As you're speaking, they're like kind of like trying to argue, like you're trying to make up an argument, and to one, almost immediately to both of them, they have this like realization of what they're probably doing is a lot worse than stealing just a crate of stuff.
They're unintentionally spreading a cult religion.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they just fucking leaving the ship behind.
At least we know what to look for. An older-looking gnome with a red beard. And now I've got all this to deal with.
You just see Evanor just kind of get in one of his pouch like a flask, and then he kind of pours some viscous blackish liquid, and then he shoots the very like end of the liquid, and then all of a sudden all of it catches fire.
Well, that's one way to deal with it. Let's get out of here before anyone notices.
So you're going back. You're going back to the ship then, right?
Yeah, I'm just heading towards the ship. It's like,
alrighty.
Yeah, if you need a place to stay, we've got room on the on our ship out there. Would you like to join me?
Noted. Why not?
Yeah.
So for Ken and Lecter then. Yeah, it takes you a good 15 minutes or so, and you make it back to the noble market. So Lecter, what is your...
Well, the original intention was to buy a simple white robe.
Yeah, I mean, there's already plenty, I guess, on display that have been made. But there's different colorations, and there's apparently one of these, like these high quality, costs 175 gold pieces each, and there are a variety of colors. You gonna buy one?
1 second.
Oh god.
He's trying to find the best thing to make himself look dapper.
Oh, I already know that white looks decent. I made the Hero Forge mini in the meantime.
Oh yeah.
So quickly checking my current account balance.
Honestly,
sure.
You see the plume of smoke.
So 175, you said, right?
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Okay. So Yeah, in a matter of minutes, you're kind of fitted with the ropes, and they are a bit, you could say, tight, but not really. I guess there would be slight uncomfortableness if you were not a robot.
Hmm.
You could say they're relatively snug.
So be it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's just, well, a detail.
Mm-hmm.
Something I can deal with. Also, one side note. From now on, unless I specifically put it back, or I'm holding it myself during the process of changing clothes in this case, I had Mage Hand up the entire time to hold the spear.
Okay.
I'm not giving that thing away to anyone.
Alrighty. Interestingly enough, though, as soon as your Bigby hand, or your Bigby's hand,
Mage Hand.
Mage hand holds, the hand turns from its usual shade of color to bright gold.
Is
Okay.
Mage Hand normally invisible?
If you're an Arcane Trickster, yes. I am not, so therefore it's usually a spectral shade. So in this case, it's a spectral shade of whatever.
Gold.
Let me quickly finishing up something. Just for reference, I went with something simple, so yeah, it would most likely be white or light gray.
Sure.
Whatever is fine for me, and well, yeah. Mental image reference and memes.
Yeah.
That's about it. And while we're standing there, and I'm finishing up with the dressing process, I'm going to just straight up ask Ken whether he wants to get himself something formal as well.
For formality, there's nothing that you would scream nobility or formal. More like monkish for Ken's taste.
You got some place where they buy, where I can buy a suit.
You haven't spotted anything. If you ask,
That's what I was doing. I was gonna ask.
the Loxodon who kinda provided with, I guess, the suit, not the suit, but the clothing to Lecter, says that suits aren't really Loxodon style because they are too small. And they kind of look ridiculous.
What do you mean they look ridiculous?
Yes.
Literally, yes.
Why don't you just shift weave?
Surely there's gotta be a place over here.
Oh.
If not in this district, a different district.
Yes. Not here, but to the south, by the actual, main market. There is a tailor that provides from the outside of the archipelago with all of its wares. If you wish to go there and browse, do it as you wish. But sadly, we do not provide these services here.
Alright.
Thanks for your services on this attire there. Paying up, of course. grabbing back the spear that was carried by the mage hand till then, and then just slowly making my way out of the shop.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, just do that. You've got 5 outfits in one.
Calm down. It's not about how it fits, it's about taste. And Loxodon's fine suits cringe. But yeah.
Yeah.
So where is Lecter and Ken heading now?
I think I would accompany you to pretty much anything you want. I'm finished with my part.
Oh.
I'm fine with whatever.
I assume also, Lecter, you would like to identify what you're holding?
I would do that either on the ship afterwards, or if you say that I have enough time to do this now, I would do that.
I mean, if Ken is looking for a suit to the south, I would say, and when he reaches there, Ken, my boy,
Yeah.
is that what you're gonna do? Look for an actual suit to the south?
Oh, you know, we're here.
Okay.
We're a place with obvious thing. Might as
Okay.
well look for that and maybe a.
Roll me investigation check because it's gonna take a few.
Maybe a nice dress for the ladies.
For the ladies. Lena maybe
yeah.
is with us like
Yeah, let's do that for Lena as well.
Also, I found a good image of a Lotston in a suit.
Please tell me it's the one I'm thinking about.
Okay.
No, it
Hold
isn't.
on.
Roll
Still.
me investigation, Ken.
Give me a sec. I gotta pull up the character sheet. Aha.
I'm just saying, session 69 is gonna be amazing.
Yes.
Everybody fucking dappering it up. Let's go.
I don't find such a dapper Lotston.
Don't.
Okay.
25.
Yeah, doesn't do anything, Joyce.
Takes you about an hour going south, and you do find like a very like in the good part still, but in the roads that you haven't not traveled closer to the actual river banks that are flowing from the north to the south. You find a tailor shop that has. You can immediately see the suits. From quite a lot dresses as well. Run by a handful of humans. So to cut the description short, because we're kind of slowly running out of time, I would say within half an hour you can acquire for yourself and Lena a dress and a suit respectively for 550 gold in total.
Holy shit.
Bloom of smoke in the distance.
Oh no, we're paying that one out of pocket right there. Woo! Yep, after a while we're gonna grab that. Oh, gosh, what would be good?
You ask for financial support, I will provide.
Oh no, we got it. We got plenty. We still
We
got
all
a little
do.
bit of funds here. Besides, I'm buying
Well,
something
also-
for Lena.
Also, you might get a discount
point.
because you're holding that banner.
You fucking wish.
Nah, we're good.
A literal god? No. Okay. Okay. So.
Wait,
So-
if they're close to the original market, they'd probably be seeing the children, other people wearing the cult robes.
No, they didn't see it yet. So yeah, while you just see Ken and Lena just essentially play dress. The village just kind of looks bored. He kind of looks at you, and Lecter, I'm not gonna say what it does fully. I'm just gonna say the thing that you're carrying is a mythical artifact called the Banner of the First Dawn.
Noted.
And it's attuned to you and you alone.
Noted.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
No, you know what? I'm going to call Rog out of retirement and giving him this. It's a pike on one end. Holy fuck. No.
Yeah.
That'd be terrible.
So yeah. Yeah, so good half an hour passes, and you essentially, half a grand later, you have acquired, you know, a suit and a dress. So after that, are you gonna head back to the ship?
I'd say so.
Cool. So, Revan and yeah. Would you still look for, I guess, the gnome, or like actively, or you would just go to the ship immediately?
Well, we're going to the ship, but we're keeping our eye. I'd say I'm keeping my eyes out.
Perception.
Perception. Okay.
Perception.
Perception.
Perception is still +3. $14.
No.
Yeah.
Occasionally you see people still wearing the clothes, but also you see quite a lot of them on the ground, essentially, or some of them are just like literally just chucking it into a fire and they're burning it.
Yeah. It looks like the merchant we warned is telling other people about it. That or the Tabatsis are now realizing their mistake.
Yeah, no, to the back, you haven't seen the Tabaxis since ever.
Yeah, they booked it because they realized they were accidentally causing heresy.
Yeah, so eventually, you make it back to the ship in like within an hour, and as you, how are you gonna actually reach the ship now that it's afloat?
I know we originally got onto the ship got off the ship via Lecter because Feather Falling. Good thing I kept a lot of my spell slots open. Because I can now... How high up is it, roughly?
About 90 feet.
Just 90 feet?
Maybe 100 feet above, from the ground.
Okay, well... Okay. Cool, that works perfectly fine then. And am I correct in thinking that can I take someone with me with a dimension door?
You
It's
can.
okay.
One willing,
turn,
one
You
willing
can.
creature.
Yes,
Yes.
you can.
Okay, so I was like, this will be quick. I just put my hand on her shoulder and we both dimension door onto the deck.
Yep.
Oh.
So you eventually make it, and you see Jack just kind of waves and says, "Hey, Lecter," and you see Eleanor just looks, and then you know that fucking feeling when you're trying to wave because you think you remember someone, and then you see someone
immediately
familiar
realize
that they're not,
um,
and they're like, and then he kind of scratches his back a bit, looks around, kind of points him random thing,
Yeah.
and just walks away.
yeah, so yeah, this is why I said that you look very similar. You look almost exactly like him.
He kind of He kind of looks at Jack as he walks away.
Don't worry about him.
He squints his eyes at him.
Hey, you don't have to be suspicious of everyone. Everyone on this ship right now, it's safe for the Kinder is trustworthy.
No.
No.
Okay. Well,
He kind of looks around the main deck, and he kind of just gets by one of the rails and just kind of sits down and just sits there. And kind of
100%.
And kind of just eyeing Jack.
Look, he mistook you for my friend who's probably on their way back now. And actually, they did mistake you for him. Anyway.
I will wait for your friend here.
Okay.
As he kind of maintains that. And occasionally you see Jack just kind of looking back. And then kind of looking back at Eleanor, and then he kind of like eventually walks to below deck.
I quickly go after Jack. It's like, look, I understand your confusion. That's not Lictor. That's another Warforged that may be related to Lictor.
Yeah, he just kind of nods. So yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit on edge. Apparently he's waiting for Lictor so he can actually meet him. So... Well... Also, be on the lookout for... and can I say that I picked up one of the robes off the ground just for an example thing. Keep an eye out for anyone wearing this.
He begins to sweat nervously.
There's someone on the ship that's wearing this, isn't there?
Plucky.
Oh, he bought from those two idiot tabaxis, didn't he?
Interesting implication that he bought it.
Or he stole it.
Thank you for the correction.
Okay. Don't worry about Plucky in that instance. But I'll essentially force him to remove it before my buddy here shoots him. Anyway, just to let you know, these robes are the robes of the cult that I was trying to get away from. We encountered a lot of the cultists down the city. The ones we encountered are dead. But there were also a couple of tabaxis selling the robes to the public, not realizing what they were committing was heresy to the religion of the city. Until I explained it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where Plucky is right now? Because I need to go.
He's in the bar. He brought a friend of sorts. Said he met him and he's very interesting about it.
Don't tell me it's a gnome with a red beard.
He looks at you distraught.
Okay, I need to go interrogate this person. Why do we keep Plucky around anyway?
Okay, so
I then head towards the bar to go confront Plucky and
yeah. So yeah, you see you see Plucky chilling in the bar with Zan and Gable, and you see a red gnome who are like drinking and cheering, right? And they're having a grand old time. And then all of a sudden you just see almost like, roll me another history check.
Yep. 3 is +1, but it's not proficient. 1, 20 plus. Please be a good roll.
You
Yeah.
have no fucking clue. As he kind of looks at you and says, "Revan, my old friend."
What the gnome says that.
Yeah. It's been ages. A few decades, you could say. But, how you been?
I wouldn't call us friends.
Oh.
Considering what I
Plucky
went through.
is like, yeah, he said he's friend, and because we're such good friends, right?
He's not my friend, Plucky.
No.
No.
And the gnome says, yes, we're friends. We're very good friends, actually. And then Plucky just goes, good, and then immediately shanks the gnome in the chest. And for a split second, you see a guttural, almost yelp as the
Plucky, I need him alive.
as the gnome just falls over, and all of a sudden you see a paper on the besides Plucky just suddenly lights up, and you hear just a blaze sound, like something just caught on fire. And he looks, it's like, yes, and he's like standing on the bar stool, just celebrating with the fucking ship still bleeding.
That was one of his tasks, wasn't it? Also, Plucky, if you know what's good for you, you might want to burn that robe before my new friend sees you with it. Anyway, the gnome is still alive, right?
No, he's dead.
Oh.
You just see like he tried to yelp, but he got his like dagger just into the heart, and he just collapsed off the bar stool. Or you see Gavel just looking at you. And looking.
Well, fuck! I needed that guy alive.
I mean, I can. He kind of looks at the Plucky. Yeah, go ahead. I'm done. And then he vanishes.
Yeah, if we can revive this guy, that'd be good, because I need to beat some information out of him.
Okay, and with the final scene for today, takes you additional hour or so for Lecter and Ken, but eventually you make your way to the ship that is flying about 20 feet above ground, and
It's 90 feet.
Something.
No.
Doesn't matter.
20 feet off the ground, but the ship is like 80 feet tall. So it would take, right. So, 20 feet off the ground. I assume some magic spell, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Let's be simple. Just fly for the entire group.
So, as you all fly on the main deck, the first thing you see, Lecter, is almost like a carbon copy of you, just a different variant, sitting on the main deck, overlooking the horizon of the sea, but now just looking at you. He kind of nods his head towards you.
From the depth of the ship. When I find Plucky, I'm going to kill him. Just
So the usual. Lecter says from the side, while also focusing his gaze on Evanor. I would be approaching him and just holding out my hand while holding the banner in the other. Lecter.
He kind of stands up, looks at you, and then extends his hand and kind of shakes yours. Evanor. So yeah,
You know about the past?
bits and pieces. You.
A bit more as of now. Do you know who you were before this?
Power of the city, I suppose. Always had a draw to it.
No name or anything?
He shakes his head.
Well, I'm sure we'll figure it out. It's not important anyway. As for right now, welcome aboard the NPC. I think this is not the only family reunion that's going to happen anytime soon. We'll be meeting a few more of the family, and who knows? Maybe it will spark some memories.
He kind of nods to you. But he also kind of does not let go of your hand. He kind of leans closer to you. What about the human?
Him?
No. There's no.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
No.
Still trying to figure it out. And I'm working on it, don't worry.
It kind of lets go of your hand. It kind of gives a nod.
As a general rule of thumb for the ship, even though I am officially the leader of the ship and most of the people tend to listen to my commands, I wouldn't recommend putting that gun too far away. This place is safe, but don't trust anyone too far.
Never did. Never will.
Good choice.
So yeah, with that, I'm gonna call the session because I gotta wake up early tomorrow. So, session 68 is done, and session 69, well, shit. Well,
Nice.
Absolutely nice. This is going to be
this is gonna
a
be.
thing.
It's going triplet curse.
This is the first time that I had a session that landed on a meme number.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at that.
My second
And-
longest campaign went to session 30. This is literally double that.
Let's go.
So it's going to be
69.
parts. It's going to be parts. I don't know. Part interrogating the cult gnome. Part
Whatever's left of him.
Part being the trap out of Plutty for doing that.
I mean, let's be honest.
Um,
He did you a favor.
And part finding a place to have
That's a good
dinner
point.
with Lena.
He did
Mhm.
accidentally bring me the person we were looking for.
Ken,
What?
I could get you a really awesome set piece for that.
Really?
I just so happen to know the best spell in that sense to
Oh,
create
yeah.
an awesome
Oh yeah.
dinner
I-
place in the world.
Okay.
Magnificent Mansion.
Before
Yes.
before I do this, I need to tell two things. First of all, congratulations on all of you to reaching level 17.
Oh,
Yes!
fuck.
Yeah, boy.
Second of all, lecturer, congratulations on having Mythic level 4.
Oh, I had a feeling that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Also, Legend of the
13.
Mortal Plane is available to you. If you wish so.
Fuck no.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I'm
God
in
damn.
too deep now.
Okay, so
Be
with
that
that,
way.
you got 20 seconds to say whatever the fuck you want before I'm shutting the stream down with no servers. Go.
Hope y'all tune in for next week's. It's gonna be nice.
Rocket
Absolutely.
69, Rocket 69. Hey, look at...
like session starts, Pornhub music plays.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Just the intro immediately.